Let's see. Okay, so give me a little bit, a moment. I just have to do something. I normally have something set up for this, but I did not set that up. And I feel like this mic is being weird on me. I just double check that. Yeah. Maybe it's not good and it's just, and everything's just being poo poo. That could be it. Just windmill me do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. Ba na 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 na. No, don't do that, you dang it. Clipboard. Boop.
I brought you a letter.
Boop. Okie dokie. Yep. It always isn't the longest setting up things. Although, normally I had to see if I could set up another thing so I could do the live stream, but I also had the standby thing, you know, the whole 9-yard thing. Oh, what? There's that. Even though I am a little late because pancakes. And that's late because of work. And I was had to jinx to myself. I'm gonna say, you know what? We got everything done early. And because everything got done early, there's gonna be that one guy with a shit ton of stuff. And guess what happened? So never jinx yourself. So, about an hour late, huh? Who cares? Ghost stories are meant to as in the middle of the night so people can't sleep. In this case, probably not gonna be that scary. Judging by the picture, anyway. Do. Just bear with me 1 minute. Okay. But okay, good enough. No, what? No, I don't want to do that. Nope. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. Got everything done. Okay, so let's get to it and see if it's still live or... Why is this live streaming? Wait one moment. Something is screwy in the buoy. Oh, there we go. Now we have streamception. It took me 10 minutes to get ready. God damn it. I am terrible at this. Okay, anyway. And there we go. Okay, so up we go, and there goes the chat. Let me set. Okay. This is Rarity's. Okay, today the reading, I'm gonna be reading Rarity's Ghost Story by MasterWeaver. And just a minor description is I just told you, darling, the mannequin came to life and haunted the costume. And that's what it is. Okie dokie. Let's get some reading. And I don't know how to do this, so I don't know what I'm doing. Poo poo. I think that's evident. Actually, I got it. What do I do? I do this and do this. Kinda. Then do this. As I need to make this slightly smaller. There we go. Now I could read it. Okay, let me set the scene. Now perhaps I should preface with this with a date. I said the date. Okay, good start. Now perhaps I should preface this with the date. Nightmare night. You see, it was under a month away. Okay, now perhaps I should preface this date with the date. It's gonna be a long night. Yes. Now perhaps I should preface this with a date. Nightmare night, you see, was just under a month away at the time. Oh, true. And I believe there was someone at the door. Nope, just hearing things. I'm gonna close the door before I freak myself out. Close the door, actually. And this is not supposed to be a scary story, I guess. But, I don't know. Every now and then. In the dark basement, no one is around. It says, hey, there are the creaks and noises that could go bumping that night. Anyway. Where was I? Okay. Oh, true. I had already received numerous commissions regarding costumes and various minor accoutrements. Accoutrement. I guess I think that's accoutrement. And then I'm going to find out something else. The ponies wanted to incorporate into their own costume. One lovely gray mare even refused to have me do anything for her, and only wanted Twilight Wings measurement for, as she said, reasons. Still, The point of the fact was that night was nearly close enough for me to suspect anything. Shall we say I can't say that word. Macabre. Okie dokie. It's gonna be so much fun. Makibra. Makibra. Yeah, Makibra. I'm gonna say Makibra. That's how I'm gonna say Makibra. And then later on I'm gonna figure out how to say it properly. Oh well. This is why you always read that, proofread it beforehand. But when you're late like me, it says go right into the fan and you jump into the fire. It's like, ha ha! I like the way it burns. Okie dokie, let's go continue on. God damn it, cat. Stop knocking things over. I will admit, though, I had more than overworked myself. Nightmare Night commissions, you see, are always both unique and numerous. In all honesty, that one holiday nets me more than nearly a yearly combination of galas, parties that's called for, and even managed to grant me double pay for total adult sales. Don't look at me that way. Don't look at me that way, darling. It's my duty to bring out the beauty in every pony. And if they wish for a particular grace to be shown to their partners, then I'd certainly not judge. No, I will not tell you if any of your family ever asks for such things. Those commissions are always private. The point I was making is simple. Nightmare Night was always required so much effort on my part, so it was my best in mind to work as many generic costumes as I could as early as I could. Slews of vampire capes and numerous wolf paws and heads, rows of latex bodysuit with painted bones. Oh, I ached at the make. I ached the make. Okay. Let's just lose my mind. Oh, I ache to make something more original, and I gladly break for more personalized commissions. But in the end, the market was predictable, and I was simply wished to deal with the common costume as swiftly as possible, so I would have more time to focus on more unique ideas. Even though such ideas bounced through my skull, the mind of an artist, more wondrous and terrifying than anything I have ever encountered. The bland past and the possibility in every shifting mirage of form and color. I won't bother even trying to describe what's going through my head, for it's always a complete mess. Okay, listen. In my head, there's simply no word to explain it fully. Suffice it to say, I was maddened and thrilled by equal parts. But alas, I was forced to work till sunset, and those. No, that's not those. That's an and. And not those. Shit. I lost myself. I lost myself in the sand of time. Meh. Okay. Do. But alas, I was forced to work till sunset, and kept those ideas to myself. And when the sun did set, I put down my needles, thread, and belief. I put down my needles and thread in blissed relief. Yep. And what I had accomplished was incredibly draining. Yes, draining. Yes, draining. Mental effort and tiring physical. Oh, mental effort is tiring and as physical. I could agree with that. Okay, and loss. Oh, there we go. Mental effort is as tiring as physical. It's not the same manner. Still, I passed the rows and rows of more obvious costumes. I couldn't help but imagine the small differences on the vampire cape with bad motif inside another with the elegant and frightening contour. For instance, or one wolf. Okay, for instance, or one of the wolves with black fur and the other with thick false fangs. Ideas brief and dismissed as I trotted yawning up the stairs, I made myself ready for bed, thinking the next day would be akin to one I had faced. No. Okay. Partway through the night, though I was awoken by the oddest trees in the wind, I was only partway awake. Partly awake? That what I was supposed to say? Partway? Okay. I gotta think that it's meant to say partly awake or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know. My brain. Partway awake at that time. But then there came an odd clatter up from downstairs. And the rustling stopped. I was about to dismiss it and sank back into my slumber, but just as I started to shut my eye, the rustling resumed. With reluctant sigh, I pulled off my blindfold and folded back my covers, sliding my hooves and stretching as I reached to sliding my hooves and stretching as I reached the ground. Okay. Sliding my hooves and stretching as I reached the ground. I do recall mumbling something to myself about restricting Opal to dry food for a day or two. I had assumed she was responsible for all that noise. You see, she absolutely detests dry cat food, so I keep some around when I need to discipline her. So she can imagine my surprise when I opened the bedroom door and she rushed right in, diving underneath my bed. Nope. Of course I sacked on her. I might have been tired, but I didn't mean I wasn't concerned. It was just when I looked under the bed. Well, her fur is completely on edge. She looked tense, ready to lash out at any notice. Trust me when I say that swipe from a cat claw can quite ruin one's day, and I will agree with that. I decided to leave her there, and just in case. Now that we're really rather worried, you see, simply because Opal was most likely perpetrator
Now, though,
Read.
I was really rather worried. You see, simply
Why-
because
what
Opal
happened
was
to
the
my
most
sound?
likely perpetrator.
Okay. I have no sound. My sound is up, but I don't hear no sound. What's going on?
You see, simply
Let's just-
because Opal was the most likely perpetrator of the odd sounds.
Why is it on that? Why is it on my speaker?
You see, simply because Opal was the most
Oh, okay. Okay.
You see, simply because Opal was the most likely perpetrator of the odd.
Okay, perpetrator. Perpetrator. That's what it is. Okay, cool. And I actually like that system. Okay. Why did it say this into my mic? Okay. Perpetrator of the sound. That did not mean it weren't other possibilities. Yes. Yes. Ponyville is usually peaceful. Don't get me wrong, but with the odd circumstances, I was worried that some less than savory individual has spotted my boutique and decided perhaps that it's a fancy exterior highly valuable and be worth stealing. And as generous as I would be, should such a thief turn out to be a needy sort, I was more than aware that they were more likely to take from bakeries and other such food stores. That kind of thief instead in clothing. That kind of thief in stores. Okay. I was more than aware that more likely to take from bakeries and other such food stores. The kind of thief interested in clothing, you see, tend to be more a career thief with all skilled and force and plot that imply. Skills and force that implies. Whoopee. Hit my camera. So I took some precaution. I gripped a hat rack from my magic. So I took some precaution. I gripped a hat rack from my magic. Don't snicker, darling. Darling, it's a heavy object, and let it lead the way as I tip my. Don't snicker, darling. It's a heavy object, and let it lead the way as I tiptoed quietly down the stairs. I'll admit to some nervousness, my heart beating rapidly as I descend, and having one's home broken into is inherently unnerving. After all, Still, after all the adventures I've been part of, I suspected I could handle a single pony if it came down to it. Rainbow Dash, in order to create the best sort of dresses, I need... Rainbow Dash, in order to create the best sort of dress, I need to know exactly how Pony Body moves. Would you like me to show you where the pressure points are? Believe me, they're, 3 near the base of the wings. Thank you, darling. Now, where was I? Thank you. Oh, wait. Thank you, darling. Now, where was I?
No, don't do that. No! Pancakes!
This is what happened when you try to do things. No. Go away. This is what happened to try to click on things and using this. Stop being poopy. Okay. This is why you use a mouse. Okay. Yes. Descending down the stair, prepared for the eighth thief, hat rack at ready, I got closer to the bottom of the stairs. I realized the sound I had heard was not some leaves in the wind as I had thought. No, the rustling was coming from down here, down where my dresses and costume were stored. In fact, as my ears swiveled forward, I could tell they were the sound of silk and cotton and other such fabric. Yes, I know what my fabrics sound like. I've worked with them day in and day out, and distinction convinced me further that there was a thief downstairs. I took a deep breath as I stepped into the final stairs, gathering myself and trying my best to calm my senses. And I would not do. It would not do to and.
It will not do what a dangerous situation, panicking at all.
Okay, let's just do that without this being stupid. It would not do. It would not do to enter a dangerous situation panicking. After all, best to act swiftly with precision, a firm hoof, and cunning mind. My magic wrapped around the hat rack, enveloping tightly, bracing myself. Then I leaped forward to the showroom. Throw and pose. Okay, Then I leaped forward to the showroom, the hat rack swirling around me, wielding it like a sword of old. To my surprise, absolutely no pony was there. I looked around the room wearily, trying to find anything out of the norm. Lost myself once again. Da 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 da. I looked around the room wearily, trying to find out anything out of the norm, but door was locked as always, and the curtain remained drawn shut. Around me was nothing more than the usual boutique fares, the dresses, stage, mirrors for those wish to examine their apparel from all angles, doors leading to my workroom and my sew closet, a few mannequins. To my workroom and my sew closet, a few mannequins, lining the walls and wearing some of my unique Nightmare Night costumes. And once again, I need a drink. I'll be right back. Boop, boop. A good drink always with the whistle while you read. Water was do such vitally. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. It took me a moment to realize that there was, in fact, one open door that should have not been. The door led to my sew closet. The door behind which all my works, all my masterpieces rested and awaited for their eventual owners. In that room, rows upon rows of dresses, suits, and costumes, all hung from them, more worth than ever. Yeah, okay. In that room, rows upon rows of dresses, suits, and costumes all hung, each of them more than worth the effort of thievery, if I do say so myself. It was clear to me then where the thief had headed, and where now he was hiding. I slunk silently towards the sew closet, keeping myself out of direct sight of any pony who might have been within. When at last I was an inch away, I slammed my hat rack through and swung it around, hit any fool hiding inside. Nothing. No grunt of pain, not even a resistance of motion. I turned to my sew closet. I turned my sew closet lights on. Stepping in. I had intended, of course, to demand the ruffian surrender, but as I entered, there was again no pony there. And yet I could not help but be horrified. What was once a row of organized after organized rows of my precious art. Okay. What was once a row after organized rows of my precious art was now half off a hangers on the floor, and walls strewn about around the room in a chaotic class of color and fabric. I rushed about in the mirror, I rushed about in a minor tizzy, my magic picking up each article of clothing, carefully, delicately placing it back in the proper place. It was only after I had cleaned up most of the mess I saw the Rarity in the room. Okay. I saw the other oddity in the room. A mannequin. Mannequins! Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
What are you doing? I think I'm in boo-boo.
Okay.
Never mind. I need to go further now.
Okay. A mannequin. Wearing one of my most bizarre ensembles I had ever encountered. A combination of gorgeous ball gowns, a tweed jacket, and a wide-brimmed hat with a feather. I won't say it was hideous combination, far from it. It's a unique collection, could have gotten me quite inspired at any other time, but nonetheless, it was certainly not what I was expecting. Still, the mindset that there was a thief somewhere in my home. I approached the mannequin.
Okie dokie, Miss Smokey.
I approached the mannequin cautiously, but in my suspicions, let me get something to drink. But in my suspicious state of mind, I thought that the pony who had broken in was right in front of me, wearing a skin-tight suit, trying to pose as something I wouldn't recognize as a foreign. Well, that would be a good trick. But, the joke on them. Well, that joke would be on them! Let's get that dress off you, I said calmly, coolly, like it was just another day. I reached a hoop to the throat and then grabbed the mannequin footlock. Yes, a mannequin footlock, intent on unbalancing the thief completely. Unfortunately, I was off in my guess, and the entire foreleg popped off. I'll admit, let out a startled shriek. Okay. I'll admit, I let out a startled shriek, but it was quickly replaced by nervous laughter as I realized what has happened. It was well known outside the fashion industry, you see, that those blank pony forms are designed to come apart. Why? How else would we get the dress on them? With a small breath of relief, I went about popping the other limbs and head off. Excuse me? With a small breath of relief, I popped out the limbs and boop boopity boop 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 boopity boop. Don't go boop blah bop 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 bop. Where was I again? Losing myself in this fic. Okay. With a small breath of relief, I went about popping the other limbs and the head off. Soon enough, the varied bits of clothing on the mannequin were back where they belong. It wasn't long before the thing was reassembled, and I turned away to finish putting the clothes away. Still, something unnerved me about the whole situation. As the last of the costume was put away, I noticed absolutely none of my stocks was missing. Further, the mannequin itself. Well, mannequins are either for construction of the outfit or display. So display, so I could never put any in my soul closet. What was it doing here? Who had moved it? Why had they made such a wreck of my soul closet in the first place? Since not a thing was missing from it. With a frown, I decided to search the boutique high and low. Every room I entered had their light turned on. Every cabinet and cupboard was open as I counted for each item stored within it. I intended to dissect the entire house, paranoid perhaps, but I felt I was well within my rights, and part way through searching the kitchen, though I heard it again, the rustle of clothes, and my eyeballs itches. Ah, Izzy. Okay. I heard again the rustle of clothing. I turned around and rushing for the source of the noise, and once again I found my soul closet to be a wreck. True, fewer things were spread about, but the mannequin. It was once more dressed. Wolfball adorned on his feet, and the slacks it wore would be fit for a noble. Would be fit for a noble, but what really drew my eyes was a large flared collar, on which was certainly not a part of any outfit in the soul closet itself. As a matter of fact, I had placed that particular article in my bin of, how should I say, drift off exercise? Drift off? Oh, say it. Oh, no. Oh, how should I say it? Drift offs, exercise, something so simply to sew it. After all, while the collar was certainly a piece of work, I doubted it would look. I doubted it would ever see the light of day as a part of the outfit. As a part of an outfit. Yeah, okay. Now, I was a certain pony was playing some sick prank on me. Now, I was certain some pony was playing some sick prank on me. Slacks without a piece around the barrel? I doubt. An interruption. Whee! One moment. Yes, I went down here. What? Yep, okay. Aren't interruptions fun? And also, I can't mute I don't think I can mute my mic because my mic is being poopy. Should I take out the regular mic? Oh well, whatever. Where was I? As I read from the beginning. Now I was certain Now I was certain some pony was playing a sick prank on me. Slacks without a piece around it. Slacks without a piece around the barrel. I doubt I need to tell you exactly how scandalous it felt, although I admit myself the touch of claws and the color could transform a merely crass It merely crashed into something that was so delightfully primal, not something to be seen outside the bedroom. Okay. No, not something to be seen outside the bedroom. Of course, yet, still, as much as the idea teased about at me, there was an interloper to cats. Still, as much as the idea that teased me, there was still an interloper to cats. It's the witching hour, and I'm still awake reading. But, okay. Where the hell? Interlopers. And so I set about restoring my soga closet yet again. This time I made certain to put the mannequin in my workroom, where it belonged, and casually tossed the color into the drift-off bins as I left. My following search was cinematic, thorough, and efficient. It wasn't until I had shut off all the light, I started heading up the stairs, that I heard the rustling once more. I froze, unwilling to believe that I, Rarity, somehow missed an intruder in my home. But the movement of claws and twists of material across the floor was enough to push the truth into my head. Something had escaped my notice, something important. So I turned and beheld something that to this day shocks me to even remember. So I turned and beheld something that to this day shocks me to even to remember. Wolf heads held skirts and vests, and there's all with very little claws carrying them along. Skeleton bereft. Yeah. Skeleton bereft of skulls sorted through the clothes and hangers, their latex hooves dispensing of some and I cannot read. Dispensing some and slinging others onto their backs. A cadre of capered through the air, rustling as they gathered, hats flung them about. They all moved from the sew closet to and from my workroom, silently focused on whatever their work was, ignorant of my increasing amazement. On whatever their work was, ignorant of my increasing amazement. Or something like that, right? Something like that. Now, us unicorns can sometimes levitate multiple objects, but to see all these outfits moving with such independence made it instantly clear that no mere unicorn magic was behind this. What these costumes were doing, how they moved, they acted as their own violation of their own invisible will. And yet, well, there was something incomplete about them. The skeleton lacked a head, where it was somehow more disturbing than a complete version. The wolf costume were only head of four was only heads on four little feet pieces, which might have sounded adorable had they not scuttled about like spiders. The vampire capes moved as though worn by an invisible pony. Yet every now and again I see one twist and flap in the way it would be impossible where it was the case. Okay. I should perhaps have moved from the spot where I was standing, but so caught off balance. I should perhaps move from the spot where I was standing, but so caught off balance was I remained rooted on the very bottom of the stairs. That is okay. That is until one of the wolf heads spotted me in the saddle and dropped its frocks. I half expected it to howl. The false yellow eyes glittered in the window starlight, but no. One noticed all the Once one noticed, all the heads rotated in regard to my presence. Okay, that would be disturbing as well. I would be running up the stairs like, nope, locking the door. Anyway. But once I noticed, all the heads rotated in regard to my presence. Notice all the heads rotated in regards to my presence. The skeleton all twisted around the neck holes. The skeleton all twisted around neck holes of latex suits opening the dark caverns to my eyes. The vampire cape stopped rustling and prancing on the mannequin and various mirrors I had in the boutique main room. In that silence, in that moment, they watched me, and I watched them. After some time, though, I took a step down the stair. They kept their false gaze upon me. As I let another hesitant hoof forward, some of the cape visited, as I could have sworn one of the wolf had let out a little snort. Still, they didn't make any attempt to stop me, so I continued my slow journey into their midst. Okay. Gaping holes and false eyes followed me every move as I wearily peered into the sew closet once more again. The various articles within had been spread about, though now I knew what the cause was. Glancing about at the costume, I let out a small nervous giggle. If you lot wanted to try some outfit, all you need to do was ask. If you lot wanted to try on some outfit, all you needed to do was ask. That I swiftly discovered was exactly the wrong thing to say. Now I You're let out on the whole hell and in fury. Okay. The cape took flight once more, but now it was rushed around my form. In blinding corday of red and black, I screamed, yes, I admit I let out a I screamed. Yes, I'll admit it. I let out a scream as I felt a furry girl grab my hoof, putting me onto the ground. Okay. Okay, let's jump right into this rabbit hole. Okay. Pushing me onto the ground, and then I discovered that claw grabbed my hooves and pushing me onto the ground. And then I discovered an unnerving sensation that one only could feel when instead of merely putting on a skin-tight suit, the suit itself enveloped you on its own. That must feel uncomfortable. When the cape finally retreated, I panted for breath. The spike of terror still high on my mind. And the cape finally retreated. I was panting for breath. The spike of terror still high in my mind, and I was wearing the suit I was wearing constricted with recede against my coat, tug on my legs. I couldn't help but gasp as I felt my own leg twist under me. Push me up a standing position. I was trapped within my own creation, which been to okay. Tugging my leg, puts me up in a standing position. I was trapped within my own creation, which began to slowly walk me towards my workroom. At least I could still look about, see the escort I received. The headless skeleton to either side was like stock guards. Wolf heads scuttle about our who with the occasional sniffles? Yeah, sniffles. And okay. And an ocean of red and black flying heads through the door. Okay. Red and black flying heads through the door. For a moment I caught my own reflection in the passing mirror, and in the dark it looked as though I was only bones. I was only bone with not but my kufuyor and tail left. Kufuyor and tail left. And then, before I could consider it any further, I was through the door myself. I gathered the costume. The gathered costume painted an odd scene. The gathered costumes painted an odd scene. The wolf head stood on forgotten outfits and scraps of clothes, staring towards where the caps now form arcs of color around a pile of deflated skeleton suit. It was the object of this impromptu dias that truly held my attention. However, the once naked mannequin was again clothed. If the half-made mismatch of particular sewn fabric could be called clothing, even as I looked on the in hard, I could not help but see the beginning of a concept, and what it wore in my imagination was My imagination was dashed. However, as I was made to bow in front of an eyeless, colorless form, it took some time before I managed to lift my head from the pile. It took some time before I managed to lift my head from the pile of latex bones. Gazing upon the mannequin plaintively, I had to think a bit as I determined what I was going to say. It was obvious that speech was all I had left to me in this moment. Might I assume you are the leader of this creature? I eventually asked. The mannequin itself was silent, but rustling of cape around it seemed to confirm my suspicion. Well then, I suppose I should welcome you to the boutique, where everything is chic, unique, and magnifique. Well then, I suppose that... Okay. There was a series of distinct grumbles behind me. Yes, nervously conceded. Well, I mean, almost everything advertising has stretched the truth sometime, after all. So I managed to smile. What business do you have for me tonight? For the moment, there was no reaction. Then, with a tiny squeak of surprise, I felt myself standing again, ending up face to the featureless face of the mannequin itself. One of the capes spiraled from the arc, brushing my cheek as it rustled past my ear. I'm terribly sorry, darling. I'm afraid I don't quite catch that. More capes fluttered down, whisking about my head. In the rustling, I heard the faintest whispers of voice speaking words that could not distinguish. I had to frown. Perhaps it would be better if you write it down, your request. I can't seem to... My words were cut off with a sudden wheeze as I felt the suit grow tighter. Growls rising from the background. The vampire cape once more swirled around me. My vision became all red and black for swirled around me. My vision became red and black, becoming all red and black, save for the blank face which I loomed without moving, not experiencing any rage or fury, even as the hidden not expressing any rage or fury, even as the word hidden in the constant rustling grew harsher and louder. My entire form felt squeezed, compressed, my could rumbling uncomfortably against the latex struggle to breathe. Please, I I pleaded desperately. Please, I don't understand. Why are you doing this? What do you want? A mannequin had no eyelids, no lips, no clothes. So there was an audible rip in its eyes, split open, tore open. So there was an audible rip as its eye split open and tore open its mouth, each orifice leading to ever-shifting endless colors. The intense image and construction around my barrel. The intense image, the construction around my barrel, the terror I still felt, all caught up in that one moment. As I passed out, I heard that one command, one last one. Finish me. Wait. I heard only one command. Finish me. I woke the next morning, sweat drenching my seat as my eyes snapped open. I woke the next morn, sweat drenching from my seat as my eyes snapped open. For a few seconds I did nothing but breathe. Then suddenly I ripped off my blindfold, sat out of bed, gabbling down the stairs, flung my soap closet wide open, and found everything where it was meant to be. It only took a moment for me to turn and rush for my workroom, and yes, the mannequin was still there, no evidence of ever having any tears on his face. It took me a moment or two to work down my adrenaline rush, laughing at my own silliness. Obviously, it had been merely a dream, some odd nightmare. I almost dismissed it out of hoof. But when I turned to leave, I saw a dress I didn't remember making in my drift-off bin, exactly the mannequin size. And that was Rarity Ghost Story. It was an interesting read. I actually did like that. And I guess pretty much if you missed this, that on Twitch, it's gonna be always on my. I always gonna upload it to my YouTube channel. So yeah, this will be on my YouTube channel as well. So, anywho, with that, I'll end the stream now. And I hope to see you all in the next stream. Bye. I really had to talk some more about it. Why? Oh, I'm still live streaming, apparently. Okie dokie. Shortcut hotkeys doesn't work on my laptop. Good to know. That question is why.